Yo folks, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we'll be doing a should you pulls for Helm. Not to mention, we'll go over the events and maintenance that's going to be dropping. Let's jump right into this. Go into the bell icon right here, system notice. Notice on server update November 10th. It's going to be happening on a couple of hours. And we're going to get Helm. She's going to be one of the greatest looking waifus. And to answer the question, is she a must pull? Is she a unit that you have to have? First off, is she a waifu? Are you attracted to her? Do you like Azur Lane? Let me tell you, Helm is one of the best looking units I have ever seen. On a thickness scale, she is an absolute 9, if not 10 out of 10. And she is just an upgraded Privity in some ways. Oh my god, I can't believe I said that. Some people are going to be angry with me. But at the end of the day, she is a top tier waifu, and on those regards, I would say she is pretty great for a must pull. But meta-wise, the boring stuff, I am not exactly sure if Helm is going to be worth it. And the first thing I have to compare her to is someone like Pepper right here. Pepper, the shotgun user, burst 1 unit, she actually has the same amount of damage ratio on her burst skill. But she's not going to be providing as many buffs. She's more of a healer, and she's not exactly that great of a buffer in my opinion. I'm talking about Helm, because her crit rate only increases normal attacks. And as great as normal attacks are, if you can increase your crit rate on a burst, that would be really amazing. If this is a typo, they didn't mean to write normal attack, then this could be completely different. And sniper rifles generally have a lower magazine count, I would say, so she can trigger this buff, if not a little bit more often than other units, but the fact that it only triggers there is a little bit weird. And then her attack damage increase is going to be affecting all allies. She also has an interrupt. But if you look at her attack damage increase, here I think Dola has some of the best attack increases in the entire game. But she's also not as great as someone like Pepper, damage dealing wise and also healer wise. Because one thing to note, we have no idea how recover 54% HP of attack damage works over 10 seconds. Is that going to be a heal over time? Is that going to be based off of Helm's damage? Is that going to be a lifesteal? Depending on how that flows, it's going to be okay. But in my opinion, her kit looks really great on paper because you're like, crit rate, more attack damage, really high damage, not to mention she can recover. But the thing is, if you look at Scarlet, Scarlet is a pure DPS unit. She is insanely selfish, and that's what makes her so great. If you look at Haran's kit, who's also another DPS, she is also insanely selfish for the most part, and she deals insane amounts of damage AoE. So if you compare her to other DPS units, I would say she gets outclassed because they are more focused on being selfish. And then if you compare her to other supports, which we did with someone like Pepper, Pepper is just a little bit of a better healer. Dola, for example, is just a little bit better of a buffer, even though her damage isn't as great. But don't forget, Dola is also a burst 2, and don't forget, Pepper is a burst 1 as a healer. And then even if you look at someone like Lighter, who provides like the cooldown reduction and attack 66% increase for 5 seconds on her burst 1, I would say Helm still falls behind. So there's a couple of things that makes Helm great based off of paper value. But if you look at her overall dynamics, she is all right. I think she is a really great unit too if you don't have a sniper rifle unit. But in my opinion, you gotta wait until we see what other Nikkes are going to be releasing. Banner is actually going to be lasting for 2 weeks, in case you guys are curious on that front. And I find that kind of interesting because we have no idea how long or how well the 2 weeks is going to be, where we get another waifu who's just as insane or good on paper as someone like Helm. I think the thing that breaks me for her is the crit rate of normal attack, and the fact that we don't know how that recover works, and the fact that the dealing damage looks great on paper, but Pepper can technically do the same thing. Now, I know I'm being highly critical of a lovely waifu such as Helm, but I need to put it in perspective how she is just really good in some scenarios, but she's not as good as some of the top tiers. But if you compare her to the people in A rank, she's obviously going to be right there, or people in S rank, she's right there. She falls like almost a little bit below some of the S ranks because the S rank units are just so focused on what they do. Like volume increasing crit rate is just absolutely phenomenal. And then if you look at the JP tier list, she would easily be on the likes of S tier or SS tier depending on the situation. But I think she would fall along the lines of S tier and a little bit better than A tier. Altogether, I think Helm is a great unit, but I don't think she is the must-pull unit that is worth it for you to go broke for. Because remember, at the end of the day, it costs 30 bucks to do one multi in Nikke. That is for like the bare minimum, like bottom tier gem pack. If you were to use the most efficient gem pack, like you've never bought gems, it would maybe cost you $200, $300 depending on which packs you choose. But $600 is what it would cost to pity overall if we were to look at like the base gem price, which I don't think she's worth $600, unfortunately. But who do I think this unit is good for? I think this unit is for people who just don't have a sniper rifle unit. They don't have enough DPS. But to be honest, she is not comparable to someone like Scarlet or Haran, who I think just does the job a lot better. But at the end of the day, I think she is going to be one of the best units in our current meta. But I don't think she's a worthy pull just because of the fact it costs so much to pity with the Nikke. It costs $600 technically. It costs so much time to save the resources and gems. We haven't calculated how many gems that you can get per month. I'm pretty sure you can equivalent maybe like, I would say at least 5 multis within the current months, within the current metas. So maybe we can pity a character every 2 to 3 months, I would say. That's usually the standard, depending on how free-to-play friendly Nikke is at the end of the day. But I need to see what future units are going to be releasing before I recommend someone like Helm. And she is great in our current metas, like I keep saying. But I want someone who provides a bigger bang for my buck. So for 600 bucks, I don't think I'm going to be pulling for her because I like to pity a unit personally. And as great as she is as a waifu, I don't think she's a must pull just yet. I just need to see what Nikke is going to be putting out in the future because I think her kit is a little bit too all over the place and she's not as focused. Because I think if someone like Scarlet went on a rate up banner, I would pull for it almost instantaneously. Or someone like Haran, even someone like Lighter. I think she is so unique. I think she's one of the best units. Pepper, I wouldn't really pity for the unit, but these 3 are worthy units. And this is just because I'm equivalating $600 to a waifu, alright? If I wasn't equivalating the money aspect, then yeah, I would definitely pull for the characters that I would want. Going over the events and what's going to be happening, we're going to be getting the caller ID. And just note, this is on Pridewood in case you want to check it out. I'll leave links down in the description. Thanks to them for providing the sites and stuff. And we're also going to be getting something known as the Toy Signal Tower. There's going to be designated characters where you can win quest items. I'm pretty sure it's going to have like some sort of shop where we can get extra summons. I'm not sure if there's going to be a new unit or anything like that tied to it. They would have said something like that. There's going to be a new coordination mode. So we're going to be fighting the boss Atlassian, which I think is going to be really cool. The boss modes in Nikke is where everything shines. That's going to be occurring from November 11th through November 13th. So definitely check that out. And the exchange shop November 11th through the 19th. Overall, I think this is going to be some insanely fun stuff where we're getting Helm, we're getting the new caller ID event, and I think a lot of people will be pulling for Helm just because her design is absolutely phenomenal and her kit looks good on paper. In some ways, they have like the small text of normal attack, they have like the lower percentage like numbers off to the side. You just see what she can do on face value and you're like, she's the best. She can heal, she can crit, she can attack, she can deal damage. It's insane, man. Like she can do everything. But at the end of the day, I don't want a unit that can do everything. I want someone like Scarlet, unfortunately, who can just wipe stages, or someone like Haran who can also wipe stages, or someone like Lighter who can just break stages because of like her cover mechanic on her skill too. But yeah, she's not there. That's what I need at the end of the day right now, because I have plenty of damage dealers on my team and I don't think she is the one for me. But yeah, I'm super excited. More reviews on her once she releases. I'm sure people will have differing opinions. And if I did not say the nicest things about Helm, I hope you guys understand. But yeah, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram if you want to see workouts and what I do. I'm going to AXGB this weekend. Thanks so much for watching. Once we have 40k subs, we're doing a giveaway. Have yourself a fantastic day, and see you guys in the next one.